Hi, it's Ley. This video is basically an experiment. I mean, it's not really an experiment to see if this was possible. Two absolutely amazing artists, McKernan and J.A.W. Cooper, have been doing this method for years in their own watercolor pieces. Links to their original tutorials will be in the description box. But I've never done this before, or worked with most of these supplies before, and I honestly did not know how it would turn out. What I'm doing is mounting watercolor paper to wood. What I used are some budget price items courtesy of a Canadian art store called Curry's. Not sponsored, they just have sales practically every other week, and they ship pretty fast given I live in rural Nova Scotia. The wood panel I'm using is 6 by 8 inches, which I thought would be a manageable size and not too much of an investment if I couldn't get this to work. I expected this process to be far more difficult than it was. As you can probably gather, I taped the sides with basic painter's tape and pressed the tape as much into the wood as possible. This will protect it both from what is to come and from the eventual watercolor painting process. With it taped, I then applied a thin, even layer of gesso. Gesso is one of those things I've never used before, but it helps to add a layer of protection between the wood and the matte medium I'll be applying in the next stage. When the gesso dried, I sanded it down to create a smoother surface. I'm not sure it affected too much since the matte medium seems thick enough to fill in most of the texture, but I didn't want to take any chances. I did wait until the next day, but it was probably overkill because it was pretty dry after a few hours. The next day was the fun part, applying the matte medium and sticking the paper on it. It has to happen pretty quick because the matte medium dries really fast. Further reason why I figured working small would be easier than with a large panel. As you can see in the footage, I just kind of oozed the medium onto the panel, and then I spread it around in a fairly thick coat using my paintbrush. I didn't want to take any chances of the paper not adhering properly. With it spread out, I then flipped the panel over onto my paper. I printed my line art on a piece of Arch's cold press watercolor paper, 140 pound, that was cut down to 7 by 9 inches. That way there would be about a ½ inch of paper on all sides that could be trimmed away later. I used a pen to mark on the back of the paper where I would like it to line up with the panel. Once the paper was stuck to the panel, I found it didn't really move too much. I don't really know what I expected from matte medium, but it wasn't a very slippery substance at all. When I flipped it back over and used the brayer to squeeze out any air bubbles that might be under the paper, I kind of expected the paper to move around a bit, but it didn't do that at all. I then laid it back paper side down, and I used my packages of printer and cardstock paper to apply weight. I also put a 5-pound weight on it, not that that would really help at all. Heavy books would work too for this. I then let it sit overnight, although that, again, was probably overkill because it was probably ready within a few hours. The next day, which I didn't film, I trimmed the edges to the board. Kelly suggested using sandpaper in about 600 grit to even out the edges even more by kind of sanding downwards so that you're not pulling the paper up off the panel. I did not do that, but I may try it in the future because I'm definitely going to be trying this again. I'm including footage of my first washes just so you can see how it works. The paper did not buckle at all, and it continues to take water just as it did before it was mounted to the panel. I use a whole lot of water and paint in making salt washes, and yeah, this was amazing. I've never had this kind of experience before where no matter how much I applied water, it didn't buckle or pocket at all. I've always kind of really hated stretching my paper, so this is a really nice alternative, though it does make it a little more expensive since these particular panels I think were about $6, so... So I am really happy with how this worked. I honestly wasn't sure if I could do it, but now I regret not trying it sooner. A million thanks to Kelly McKernan and J.A.W. Cooper for their great tutorials on this technique. Please check them out if you haven't already. I do have their links in the description box. In my next video, I will be showing the rest of the painting process, including how it all looks with the tape removed and the painting finished. So please subscribe if you don't want to miss out on that. A list of everything I used can be found down in the description box. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you at my next video. Bye!